Tokozani family, Hotep Royals, how is everyone doing? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. And if you are a returning royal, welcome back. Here is your long-awaited video on Nut, the Cosmic Mother. Now, we've spoken about Nut before, and I've explained that she's the Alpha and the Omega. We are in the final month of or final season rather, of the African calendar month. And so I want to talk about Nut in greater detail, just so that you get a better sense of what this cosmic energy is really all about. Now, the season of Nut is a very powerful season. And when we call her Cosmic Mother, it's because literally the word Ntu, you hear me say Bagwantu, meaning the melanated beings, Bagwantu, comes from that word Nut. In the southern hemisphere, Abantu are the people of Nut. Ntu comes from the word Nsu, which comes from the word Muntu. That NTU actually means melanin, or this dark hue in our skin. Now, we also understand that melanin is just not about the color of our skin, but that it is what we call a divine molecule, right? It is what gives us our divinity. It is what makes us different from any other two-leggeds on the planet, right? And so here we are talking about the children of Ntu, meaning Bagwantu, Bantu, and in many Bantu languages, Bantu, there are variations. There's Vanu, there's Batu, there's Vanu, there are so many different variations in the different, what they call Bantu languages, to signify that we all come from the same source. Now, what I wanted to focus on today is understanding what we mean when we say she is the Alpha and the Omega, and she is Cosmic Mother. Let's take it from the point of view of Cosmic Mother. During the season of Nut, Nut is considered the cosmic womb through which new souls are born onto the ethereal plane. What is the ethereal plane? The ethereal plane is the place where we find spirits. It's the place where our ancestors ultimately return to, and then sometimes go back to what we call the cosmic soup. If you look in the night sky at night, right, what do you see? You see a dark black velvet, and then you see the stars shining out of it. What do you think that dark black substance is? And some of you will say it's the absence of light. But actually, we're talking about what we call the primeval waters of Nun, right? Ukulukulwane. This is the beginning. And therefore, we call her the Alpha in terms of the beginning, because all new souls are birthed from this cosmic soup. And all old souls, when they finally return to this dark cosmic soup, which we call the primeval waters, or the waters of Nun. Does that make sense? And so she is not the waters of Nun. No, she is, put it this way, the amniotic fluid, if you like, that then births these new souls, right? So in this season, a lot of new souls are birthed onto the ethereal plane. And then throughout the rest of the year, these new souls will look for a good host, will look for who they want to incubate in. And then when two adults meet and, do whatever they do, then that one of those new souls that's been in the ethereal plane then gets born and manifests in the physical realm. Does that make sense? And so when you pass on, This is very important to understand. When you pass on, your soul takes a backwards journey back to the cosmos. And there are some stops it has to make. And one of those stops is, of course, the chamber of Anpu and Ma'at, where your heart will be weighed. And it must be as light as a feather. In other words, how you lived on this planet determines whether you get to progress back to Nut. Does that make sense? Right. So when you are one of those whose heart is kind of really heavy, well, then you don't get to progress that far. You get stuck in the ethereal realm, which is kind of a space of limbo, of waiting. And you probably have to come back to do a do-over. So what is the energy that will keep you in that space of limbo? Is the energy of Geb, right? The energy of earth, right? Because that is a heavy energy. That is a heavier electromagnetic frequency than the other energies that allow you to progress on and on and on, back to source, back to the primordial soup. Does this make sense? And so when we talk about Nut and Cosmic Mother, this is one of my favorite seasons, because it really gives you an opportunity to do some meditation on your own mortality. Meaning, it gives you an opportunity to reflect upon your life from the perspective of, if I were to go tomorrow, what is the state of my soul? If I were to go tomorrow, what is the state of my heart? Is my heart heavy? And I've talked about what makes our hearts heavy, right? What makes our hearts heavy are the things that we do knowing that we are doing wrong, right? It's the jealousy, it's the manipulation, it's the lies, it's the deceit, it's the stealing. It's all the things that Ma'at gives us principles to guide us in not to do. Does that make sense? Okay, so that is the concept of Cosmic Mother being the Alpha and the Omega. The beginning, meaning new souls are coming back, new souls are coming from her. And then the end, old souls have to travel backwards to her. Because remember that with everything that is created, there is always that desire to go back to our original state. And our original state is in the primeval waters of Nun. I hope I made that clear. The other thing about the season of Nut is known as the augmenter. What does to augment mean? To augment is to multiply, right? To augment is to grow. And so you find that people who are born in the season of Nut are really, really powerful partners to have in business or in any venture you're having, because they have an innate ability to grow things, right? I'm talking about the balanced people of Nut. They have an innate ability to grow things, right? This season is powerful too, in that whatever it is you intend to launch, say in September in the new year, whatever you're working on, calling on Mother Nut to assist you to grow it is a very good idea. Sometimes you start with an idea and it's just a seed and you don't quite know how to proceed with that seed. Well, plant it and then start to invoke Mother Nut and see where that can take you. A lot of the time in this season, for many people who are creating whatever they're creating to launch in the new year in September, it's a season of rapid growth, right? If you are aligned with the energies of the season, and if you're conscious, you can utilize this energy that we're in right now to grow whatever it is that you're working on. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the beauty of this season is, number one, the ability to grow whatever it is you're working on very, very rapidly. Sometimes the growth is so rapid, it's absolutely stunning to experience and to watch. And then the other thing too, like I said during the season, to remember is think a little bit about your own mortality. meaning about the perishing of this physical body, right? We know that as we don't die. That's why I'm explaining all this to you, is that your soul is not going anywhere, because your spirit, you came from somewhere and you're going to go back to somewhere. And I've explained what that somewhere is. So it's a good time to do serious reflection. And I want to tie this in with the new moon that came in yesterday. We're still in the new moon energy. And I want you guys to really utilize this time in understanding. I'll tell you what this new moon energy is doing. This new moon energy is about decluttering. This new moon energy is about cleansing, cleaning your space, right? Not the kind of cleansing where you're trying to let go of things, but it's really about decluttering, cleaning up your space, aerating everything. And when I say clean up, I mean cleaning up your mind as well, cleaning up the things you're partaking in. We are fasting for the new year. So everything, do you see how everything just works together so beautifully? We are fasting in this season. And so it's also a season of, deep introspection, a season of meditation, a season of kind of trying to get rid of the things that are not going to serve you in the new year, right? Which we celebrate September the 23rd. So you don't want to carry old baggage from like this year that we're coming to an end. So this season, right, really will help you in decluttering. It will help you, if you use it wisely, to do a lot of work and introspection. One of the things that I always say to people is, this is a season, you guys hardly see me on social media because it is a season to detox from a lot of things. So while you're detoxing your body, you're also detoxing your mind, you're also detoxing your spirit, you're trying to input things that when September comes, will start to grow with the energy of Asar. Asar being the green god, Asar being that season where we start afresh and we can grow whatever it is we're growing. Now you launch whatever business you're launching, and then you can watch it grow. Does that make sense? So use this time wisely, guys. We are spirit beings having a human experience, and you cannot continue to live unconsciously, particularly in the times we're in now. It becomes imperative that Bagwantu, the children of Nut, the children of Ntu, wake up. It's imperative that we wake up and become aware that we are very much needed in what's going on right now in the world. Many of you are reading the signs of the times. The world is in chaos. What are you contributing on a spiritual level to make sure that we bring order, we bring in ma'at, we bring justice, we bring balance, we bring harmony, we bring truth? What are you as an individual doing? It starts with you. So you need to bring that into your life first. And then you can bring it into other people's lives. As a matter of fact, when you do good by you, you automatically shift the vibrational frequency of the collective. So imagine if a critical number of us were all aligned, all of one mind, one heart, one spirit, one desire. Imagine that what we could shift. It doesn't take 1 million people to do that kind of magic. It literally takes a handful of people who've committed themselves. So I would urge you during this time to please try to stay in the flow of this energy, so that when we bring in the new year, we start to see amazing and powerful things happen cosmically as well as here on the planet. While I'm at it, and I've been away doing my own sort of meditations and introspection, something came through very strong, and which is that we are going, and I've said this before, but I'm going to repeat it because many of you may have already experienced this. We're going to start seeing phenomena in nature. We're going to start to see phenomena in the world that we've never seen before. I have not experienced or seen it, but planet Nibiru is here. Now, for many of you who don't know what planet Nibiru is, we probably have to do another teaching about this. But if you know the story of the creation of us, you will understand that they are galactic beings who were responsible for our creation, right? They are called the Anunnaki. They are the ones who were responsible for giving us the divineness that we have versus other two-legged species. And the story I will tell if you guys want me to do that teaching, please say so. There's just so much to teach. Sometimes there's a lot. I've got content for centuries. But it's important that you understand this, because you will start to see beings, you will start to see manifestations around you. And what I could say is, please, whatever you do, please keep fear out of it. They're not here to harm us. Unless, of course, you happen to be a sellout and you happen to be one of the people who is mimicking the behaviors of the other two-leggeds, right? The palm-colored creatures. If you know that you are doing your best to live right and to do right by yourself and to do right by fellow Abantu, fellow Bagwantu, you have nothing, absolutely nothing to fear. They are here to save this planet from oblivion, because we are their creation. And they're not about to let that powerful creation be annihilated just because they happen to be nefarious creatures on this planet who have done so much harm that really on their own, they're not going to be able to shift this. They are too far gone, and many of them are hell-bent on destroying much more. In fact, many know that their time is up, and so they're like, well, if we can't have it, then nobody can have it. Why don't we just blow this whole thing up? So that is why they are here. I remember their last sighting, these galactic beings, was just before the detonation of the atomic bomb. They were seen. Nibiru was seen floating around, and I think probably assessed that the damage was not going to be extensive to the extent that the whole planet was destroyed. But now we're talking about nuclear weapons. And so they're here, and they're lurking around, because we know that those other palm-colored creatures are evil enough that they will detonate. Just to say, well, you know what? We can't exist here anymore, so let's just blow it up. Yeah. Typical, right? Like little children. Little children destroy things they don't understand, destroy things they can't tame, destroy things that they can't have. Right? So I want you to understand that, because be on the lookout, but also protect your energy, because by the same token, there is a rise of reptilians. And I need you guys to be aware of this. This is where my work gets difficult, because now I've stopped teaching in an academic way, and I have to give you the downloads that I've had in this time that I've been away. You are going to need to protect your energy. I know many of you like going to concerts. I know many of you like going to parties and pubs and drinking. Those are not spaces for you right now. There's a lot of energy harvesting happening in these places. And it breaks my heart to see that Bagwantu in the majority don't see this. They don't see that these places were created to harvest energy, because these creatures cannot survive without our energy. And the energy they go for is that low vibrational energy that is called Loosh, Loosh. That is the energy they get from adrenochrome, which they get from the blood of young children who they torture first before they harvest that blood and then drink it. They call it the elixir of life. So there's a lot that I know many of you don't know, and many of you are just going to have to go on a trust walk and listen to yourself. If what I say resonates with you, then you'll know it to be the truth, because you already know this, you just forgot it, right? So I urge you guys to please, please, please be careful out there on the streets. Guard and protect your energy. If you go on ganyezihealing.com, there is a way in which you call your energy back every single night before you sleep and every single morning when you wake up. because while you're sleeping, there's a lot that happens in what you think is the dreamscape, but it's just an alternative reality where energy is being harvested. So you need to protect that energy at all times, because the more we starve them of our energy, the weaker they become. Does that make sense? Well, on that note, I'm going to close this one. And please, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, all those good things so that we can keep the family informed, we can keep the family growing. I also wanted to urge those of you in the diaspora, hello, who have not gotten your calendar. Here is the calendar. This is where you find these energies and principles that I'm talking about. These are the 12 seasons that I talk about. We're in the 12th season, which is the season of Nut. I urge you, please do go ahead and get yourself a copy of the calendar. If you are in South Africa, I have a pinned video with the number of Mkhulu Thabo Malesa. You can contact him by messaging him on WhatsApp, and he can direct you how you get your calendar in South Africa. The calendar in South Africa now also comes with an English version. So there's the Zulu version, which has umphatlo, and then there's this version which simply in depth explains each of the seasons, right? For those in the diaspora, we have not put umphatlo in here because really you cannot do this umphatlo invocation in English because it has no resonance. However, Makos, I will be creating a WhatsApp group for any of the diaspora family who are interested in doing umphatlo with us, so we can get that going. I just need to get a show of hands to know that there are enough people who want to do this, and then Mkhulu Nsingiza or myself, or myself at given points will come in and we will patla together. The patla times, they will coincide with those of people at home, so that we are all creating this powerful magnetic resonance with our voices and our invocations at exactly the same time from different parts of the world. I think that is so powerful. Yeah, this is the time we're in. What a time to be alive. I'm super excited, rather than anything else. And I think stay in the excitement, stay in that high vibrational space, because really this is happening in our lifetime. Bagwantu are going to be free in our lifetime. Something that many people, or many of us who are this age group, actually never thought would happen. So on that note, I'm going to bid you farewell and have a good night. The link tree for the calendar, the diaspora, is in my bio. You can get yourself an e-copy. It's all there. If you go in my bio, you'll see where it says links. If you go there, you will see links for the paperback. You'll see a link for the electronic copy. You go ahead and knock yourself out. And yeah, when you do, please don't forget, I do love these, right? So you'll send me a picture of yourself with your calendar so that we can put it out there and brag and brag about how many people we have from all over the world represented. So on that note, Bagwantu, I love you and I leave you and see you on the next one. Mastogozeni.